Fam, the lightning just struck the sea right there.
I missed it. I heard it though.
I hear it.
Yeah. I didn't know where it was.
Fam, I've never had lightning strike that close. It struck the sea just there.
Yeah.
Like a gunshot. Make sure you save this live because I want to see that again in slow motion. I want to see my reaction. Bam! That was
pissing me off, you know.
Oh, you need that. You need the lightning for that mosquito.
And it's hench because it landed on my phone earlier.
Yo, I mean, based on that, but I'm not plant based for the animals. I mean, I love animals, but mosquitoes can get it.
Mosquitoes need to get it.
Clapped.
I'm not.
You know what you need?
I can't even live in my own house.
Next time you go to the store, go get one of them tennis rackets. You know, with the wires in it. Get one of them.
Yeah.
Came through winning. You can become the cracker then. Yeah. Nah, but all right. So that being said, it brings me to my next topic of discussion. Why is it important to fast? I went over it with Aris the other day, but why is it important to fast, based on the moon cycles, equinoxes, solstices? Why do people do that? Why have they done that historically? Why those dates?
Regarding water fasting, do you know what? Although there's multiple reasons why people fast according to the moon. You have a lot of people that worship the moon. Typically, Europeans worship the moon. That's why we have things like honeymoons and.
Because Iris, the moon times, greatest times, because the moon has effect on the tide. It's good to fast on a new moon and on the full moon, because they are the greatest times in terms of energy for tide. So it's basically said to do it. You have the greatest capacity to remove waste from your body times because you have the pull of the moon's assistance. I don't know.
The thing is, I've never followed doing it myself, and the things with a lot of people take on information from others rather than using their body as a case study. Mm-hmm. So until I've done it myself and I've noticed the difference, and I've done it repeatedly or enough times for me to say, okay, I've done it a significant amount of times for me to say, yeah, that is legitimately true. Mm-hmm. Then I can't really say, I don't really want to give my view on it, but that is one of the reasons why people fast during those times.
Okay.
And like people farm accordingly to the moon by biodynamic farming.
Europeans be worshipping the moon. I don't necessarily agree with being worshipping the moon.
I'm a sun cycle man.
Yeah, you're supposed to be asleep when it's about. But this kind of the fasting thing has had me wake up. Yo, shout out to a man like Carlos Boozer in the house. All right, so what about the Bible and 40 days, 40 nights, and all of that fasting there? Why would you think they would have put that in the Bible? Even if whether you believe in the Bible or not, why do you think they would have put some element of fasting in there?
Because fasting is the truth. That's what we're meant to be doing. I don't know how something that's been practiced for centuries, I don't know how it's been lost and become a taboo now. And why is it that people are only realizing that when they stop putting waste into their body, their bodies begin to heal. Every time we eat food, we're preventing our bodies from healing. Every time we eat in food, our body's fighting to heal itself from the metabolic waste that we're putting into our bodies. So like the fasting 40 days, 40 nights is something that should be practiced on a yearly basis. And not just that one time, but throughout the rest of the year, there should be elements in time during each month that we should be water fasting. or we should be abstaining from consumption.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Why should people abstain from sex while their wife is
While the
and
wife is what?
while their wife is pregnant, while their wife is breastfeeding?
Because you're interfering with the hormones. You're interfering with hormone production. Okay, let's say for instance when your wife is breastfeeding and you're having sex, and depending on the type of energy that you have as you're penetrating your wife would have an effect on her energy field, and that energy field is also going to play effect on the hormones that's being produced, and those particular hormones are being fed to your daughter or fed to your son. So for myself, sex was definitely not my number one goal once our child was born and my daughter was breastfeeding.
Mm.
But some people have an addiction, and some people don't actually have a true relationship with their partner in a sense where they can just be with their partner. Some people need to have sex, otherwise they don't feel loved. And also, when you've stepped into a relationship without being one with yourself, you always feel like the partner or your partner has to be the person to provide you with your happiness. And your partner has to be the one to provide you with love. Otherwise you feel unloved. There's too many people that's in a relationship. When they break up from being in a relationship, they start calling themselves single. You're not single. You're back in a relationship with yourself. So instead of treating yourself the best way you could, they treat themselves lower than they should be treating themselves. Instead of doing all the things that brings them joy, internal happiness, they sit there in misery, waiting for somebody else to bring them happiness. So what I always say to people when I'm having consultations or having sessions with people, I'm like, when was the last time you done something good for yourself? When was the last time you treated yourself? When was the last time you took yourself to the restaurant? When was the last time you bought yourself something to make you feel good? Being single means that you're now in a relationship with yourself again. So what people do is they jump back into a relationship after feeling that they're in misery, hoping for that other person to bring them their joy, their happiness, and their love.
True. So, because doctors will say that wife's pregnant, you should have sex with her to make her have a baby, right? Does that make sense?
Beat it out of her, yeah? Just banging it out of her.
Like there's a bun in the oven, but you're still trying to cook.
Do you know what? Sometimes just take a step back from the opinions that's laid out there to the people to absorb, and just look in and think, does it actually make sense? Okay, so I'm pregnant. So what I need to do is just have wild sex with my 9-month pregnant wife, and yeah, the baby's gonna come because I'm doing that.
And then the other thing is, can women water fast when they're pregnant? Can they?
I wouldn't say that's the best time to water fast. I wouldn't say that's the best time to water fast. It's because at that time that you're pregnant, your baby, the woman herself needs to make sure that she has enough nutritional content for her body to live on. It's because a baby has everything that it needs, and it would strip the mother of all minerals it needs to survive. Therefore, when she is eating, she's not eating to feed her baby. Her baby's getting everything it needs. She's feeding herself to provide for herself and to make sure that she doesn't become or fall into a deficit.
Okay.
A nutritional deficit.
And sea moss when women are pregnant?
Powerful.
Yes or no?
100% yes.
Powerful.
100%.
Okay, because I'm hearing from some of the blog sea moss. They don't know. They're trying to throw air of doubt into sea moss.
Yeah, I've even heard people say that sea moss doesn't even contain 90 plus minerals. It's all fabricated news, and nobody's ever given any facts on the reason why it is. I'll tell you the reason why it is. It's because salt water, or salt in the water, is also considered as an isotonic solution because it carries the same mineral balance intracellularly and extracellularly. So from within and inside of the cell and outside of the cell, it contains the same amount of mineral content or balance within the cell as it does with your blood. The only difference is salt has a negative effect on the actual human body. So it pulls moisture from your body, it pulls moisture from your tissues, it ages you from the inside out. So yeah, you can look young, but your organs will be aged just from the amount of salt that somebody consumes. But we know that plants are able to absorb minerals and make it bioavailable for the body, for the human body. So when we consume a plant with all of its minerals, our body is able to absorb it, take it in the correct balance without causing any form of nutritional deficit to the body.
Right. So like coconut water.
Banging. It's the only, I consider that the only pure water for the human body. Like when people say, oh, because I drink distilled water, that's what I drink every day. I mean, out here we haven't managed to get a distiller yet,